so yummy. Hey guys, welcome back to Vegas Vixen in the kitchen. So today we're going to be making Salaw Kari, which is a Cambodian red curry. I have some chicken thighs here. I have about 2 pounds. They're boneless and I cut them into little chunks. Usually from traditional recipes, I've seen like whole chickens just broken down with the bone still in, and it's a really rustic dish. But I decided to go with boneless because it's easier to eat. I'm gonna go over our veggies that are gonna be going into this. I have some carrots that I cut up, and they're pretty chunky because it's kind of like a stew. I have some eggplants. I have 2 different types of sweet potato. So this is like a lighter one, and then like the regular like yams. I have some long beans that I cut to about maybe 2 inches. And then I have some onions that are also cut in chunks. So we're gonna put that aside. And then I'm gonna go over the kurung and the stuff that's gonna go into our curry paste. So we have some lemongrass here, and I cut a bunch up yesterday and I kind of split it. So this is about maybe 3.5 stalks of lemongrass that I cut pretty thinly. Then that's supposed to help when we put it into the food processor so it's not so fibrous. I have some garlic, some galunga root that I cut, and they are kind of decolorized now because they've been kind of just out. I have some shallots, and I also have some turmeric. This is red chili paste, which these are the peppers that I use. I don't know if they're called pasillas, or I know that they're for sure from either New Mexico or California, and I've used this when I was making broccoli. So what you do is you put this in hot water, let it rehydrate, clean the seeds, devein them, and you don't have to use the skin, but I put everything in with the skin, and I just use the little food processor, pulverized it. So I used about 9 of the peppers, rehydrated, and made the paste. I've seen if you want to traditionally do it, you can use a cleaver and just hand mince it, and you're good to go too. So now we're gonna get started on our kurung. But before I get started on the kurung, I should also tell you that we have some chicken broth here, some coconut milk, some palm sugar, and some kapi, which is shrimp paste and smells really strong. So we'll put that to the side. All right, so let's start on the kurung. So I'm gonna stick some garlic in there first. We're gonna move this knife just in case. So let's say, I like a lot of garlic, so I kind of just throw a bunch in there, but I'm gonna throw a bunch in there and I'm gonna count how many cloves so I can tell you guys exactly. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they're pretty large cloves. So there's 10, 11, 12, let's do 13, and we'll see how we feel about that. And then I'm gonna grind this first before I add the lemongrass. All right, so now I'm gonna add the lemongrass. I'm gonna put it in spurts because I want everything to kind of blend well together. So far so good, and I'm gonna add the rest. Smells amazing. Love the aromatics. So I'm using a food processor because it's a lot easier for me. My least favorite thing to do when I was a kid was pound it with a mortar and pestle. I'm just gonna grab a spoon so I can scrape the top so it's all incorporated. So we have all of that in there. Stick this in here. So now we're gonna add our galunga root. And this was like a little knob, so maybe like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, and a little thing. 8 little slices of galunga root. And I'm just gonna cut these up a little more so that way they blend better. And if you want, you can kind of just cut them up even more. But I think those matchsticks are fine. And sometimes these might be hard to find. But they do remind me of ginger, but they're a lot more fibrous than ginger, I think. And they smell like, I don't even know how to describe this smell. It's like, kind of like licorice and like something else. Okay, so now that those are all chopped, I'm gonna toss these in there. And we're going to grind it and then add some more of our other ingredients. All right, now we're gonna let's add our shallots. Typically, I don't normally put shallots into my krung, but because we're doing curry, I'm gonna add some of this just for more aromatics, I guess. I mean, it's preference, whatever you guys decide, if you wanna do it or not, it's up to you. And I'm just gonna roughly cut that, throw it in. And then we have some turmeric, which I'm just gonna throw in there too. I'm gonna actually use some gloves because they dye everything crazy color. I actually peeled these earlier, so they're a little bit discolored. And you can even just use however much you like. My grandma loves turmeric, so she puts more turmeric, but it's all in your ratio of what you wanna do. There's really no wrong way to do it. Like more lemongrass, but for sure, I think lemongrass is the biggest ratio. And plus, turmeric is really good for you. It's good for inflammation, and it's really high in antioxidants, so the more turmeric, the better. So I'm gonna start with 2 big sticks of turmeric first, maybe a little mini one. And I'm using this other cutting board because it's going to be easier for me to get the color out. All right, now we're going to turn it on and get it all mixed in. As you can see, it's already turning everything orange. I'm going to scrape the tops so get all nicely incorporated. And I think I'm gonna just add more turmeric to that. Can't go wrong. And if you can't find fresh turmeric, you can also use turmeric powder. All right. It's a little tedious process. So we keep on scraping it, making sure it combines. And it's getting more like a paste-like consistency. And if you want, you can actually add some oil in there so it blends better. And I'm actually gonna just do that right now because I'm gonna cook it in oil anyway. And I also forgot to say that I'm doing this or making this recipe specifically for, forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong, Sukiya. So because you requested it, here it is. And all right, so I added a little bit of oil. It's optional, but it's gonna help it blends more smooth. And some of you might be wondering, hey, so where is the kaffir lime leaves? Well, because I'm making curry, I'm going to put those leaves in full and whole, and then just put this as the paste. Okay, I'm gonna scrape it one more time and then turn it on one more time and we're good to go. Just wanna make sure it's more like a paste. All right, I think it's good to go. I'm gonna get rid of these gloves. And we are just about ready for the stove. I'll just dump it in here. All right, so now we have our paste and we're ready to make our curry. Okay, so now we have this pot here. You can't really see it, but I have the fire on super high. I'm going to add oil. And we're gonna be pretty generous with this oil. Seems like I'm putting in a lot, but it doesn't really look like much. It's flowing. All right. So we're gonna make sure the oil gets nice and hot. And we are going to do the red chili paste first. 1, 2, 3, go. I was afraid of that. So we're just gonna kind of cook it in the oil for a little bit. So now that it's kind of cooking down a bit, and this is just to bring the aromatics out. You can smell it, the pepperiness. And then we're going to add our paste. We'll add the krung. Scrape that. Throw some kaffir lime leaves in there. Swirl it around. Get all those aromatics coming through from the heat. And in Cambodian you would say Ling krung to chngoi. And I want you guys to see what the paste looks like right now. So it's like nice red paste. That's our curry paste. And that green looks amazing, the color contrast. So we're just gonna, like I said, ling the krung until it's a little chngoi, which means cooking it until the aromatics come through, or just until you think it's coming through. And now we're going to add our kapi. So I typically use about 2 spoonfuls, but it's up to you how much you want to use. It is a very strong paste. I think honestly I'm just going to use maybe like this much, and I think that's good enough. Okay, maybe a little bit more, just a tad more. So I would say that was 1 full heaping, or 1 full, like 1 heaping spoonful. Okay, and let's close this up because it smells really bad. I mean, I like it, but you know, my cameraman might not. So we're gonna cook that down a bit. And honestly, it can use a little bit more oil. So I'm gonna just drizzle some in there. So you're kind of essentially frying the paste a bit. Okay, and I think now we are ready for our coconut milk. Here we are. So I have 1 whole can of coconut milk. There we go. I'm just gonna twirl it around. You want to cook the coconut milk down a little bit so the flavors really come through. I'm just gonna keep stirring. And if you want to see what it kind of looks like, let me grab this thing so I'm not burning my fingers. This is what it looks like right now. Nice little color, and that green really pops out. It smells really good. So we're just gonna let that simmer for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to add our chicken. And I'm just gonna keep stirring it actually because I don't want it to pop everywhere. It's popping away. So we're gonna add our chicken thighs. And like I said, we have about 2 pounds here. Let's be really careful with this. Let's like stop it from popping a bit. And then let's slowly add the chicken. Here we go. Okay. I'm just gonna twirl or just incorporate everything, make sure the chicken's coated. Okay, turn the fire down a bit. Yum. I'm gonna add some chicken powder. I'm gonna do 2 heaping spoonfuls. There we go. And I'm going to stir it. I'm going to turn the fire back on. Man, be careful because this thing pops like crazy and it hit my skin. It literally felt like my skin was burning off. So be very careful. So just so you can see what it looks like now, same, but the chicken's in there and we're just gonna let it cook in the paste a bit and then we're gonna add our chicken broth. I'm just gonna cover it to keep it from popping. I'm just gonna give it a little stir. The color is beautiful. It smells amazing. Now I'm going to add the chicken broth. We have 48 ounces of chicken broth here. Slowly go in there. And that cooled down the popping. All right. So 1 whole thing of chicken broth. I'm gonna give it a little stir. And I'm going to cover it again and let the chicken cook. And then we're gonna add our veggies. So maybe about 10-15 minutes. Okay, now that it's coming to a boil, we are going to add our potatoes, carrots, and onions. And we're gonna save our long beans and eggplant for closer to the end. Carrot, nice big pot. And I'm just gonna use this little spoon to kind of move everything around. And now we wait until it comes to another boil, and once the vegetables are more tender, we're gonna add the rest of the other vegetables and we're good to turn it off. And before I let you guys go from our little break, I did add 2 little palm sugars in here so it rounds out the flavor. All right, so I waited about 10-15 minutes until the potatoes were tender, and then I added the eggplants and the long beans. It's been boiling down and it's just about ready to turn off and we're ready to serve. All right guys, so our salaw kari is done. I'm just gonna plate it. I have some French baguette because that's how I ate it as a child. But you can also eat it with just noodles or you can eat it with rice. But the best way for me is the French bread. Oh yeah, here we go. Nice and hot. I wish you can see what it looks like. Can you see what it looks like? Slowly, surely? All right, the color is beautiful. I'm just going to scoop some up. Let's get deep down there. So you can get some chicken, some potatoes, some carrots. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So nice, healthy helping of salaw kari. There you have it. Salaw kari, also known as Cambodian red curry. And I made this specifically for Suchia. Suchia? Sukia. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but I made this for you. So I hope you enjoy. All right guys, let's taste this. I'm gonna try the broth first. It's so rich in flavor. I love eating with the bread, so I'm gonna dip in the bread. And I'm gonna try the veggies after. So yummy. All right, let's try like a piece of chicken or like, actually, you know what? I want a piece of potato. I can't get over how good this is. Whew. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, let me know what you think, subscribe, and like I said before, this episode was made specifically for you, Sukia. See you next time. All right.
Okay, video 2. Oh.
Welcome back to Hey Guys. All right, redo. And that works just the same. Definitely gonna have to throw some bleach into this. It's like hot lava on my skin.